we were like, is it creepy? Well, I don't know, but we're hungry. So we went.
Are we gonna get killed? No, I don't know.
I will go grocery shopping for you.
On Sundays, we have roast.
Welcome to a nice, sunny, Careful Boys episode.
Wow.
Why do people put coins on the eyes when they die?
Oh my gosh.
Who does that? Nacho Libre.
It's like a Catholic thing, no?
Oh, it's a Catholic thing? Oh, dang, you better stop.
You better cut that out.
I saw it on Nacho Libre. I don't know why they did it.
What does money do when you're dead?
All right, let's end with a happy one.
Oh yeah.
What is if you can think back for a little bit, I'll go first to buy you some time. But if you can remember, what was one of the nicest things anybody has ever done for you?
Nothing.
Damn.
My life is sad. Nothing ever good happened to me.
I thought about this guy because this is one of the nicest, unreal nicest people that I've ever met in my life, and he wasn't a dork. You know, usually the nicest people are they feel kind of too clean. This guy was a cool guy, but let me tell you the things that he did for me. This guy was he was my neighbor across the street in Downey. His name was Ivan, and I feel like I learned most of my manners from him, because this fool would if my parents came home from Costco or something, this dude would walk across the street and he would bring their groceries in with him.
Wow.
Yeah, he would carry their in and then just go back home.
He's your age?
He was 2 years older than me, Mexican kid.
Wow. You think he was scoping out your house to see how he could break in later?
No, we were friends our whole lives. This dude was I grew up with him, and and his family was better off than us, so he had every video game, and he was just lending them to me as much as I wanted.
Wow.
And then once I started learning how to break in high school, and I was obsessed with breaking, and I was always talking about breaking. He wasn't into that at all. But then one day he's like, "Hey, get in the car, I'm gonna take you somewhere." And I didn't have a license or anything at the time. This is early high school. And he took me to Home Depot and he bought me a linoleum floor.
What?
The tube?
Yeah.
That's it's 6 by 9 feet or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he took me to buy a linoleum floor, and then we put it in the back of my my parents' house in the backyard, and I used to practice on that thanks to him.
Wow.
Nice guy.
That guy's an angel.
Yeah, and then so that's I was maybe 15, and then by the time I was 16, I guess I really wanted a fucking well, I had a turtleneck, but I didn't have a chain.
It kind of looked like Dwayne Johnson.
I was damn, that looks so tight. And he took me to the mall and bought me a Cuban link chain. Just to be I don't want you to feel weird because you don't got a chain, but you have a turtleneck.
What a nice guy.
That was the style back then for Asians, Asian pride shit. And then he's the dude who took me to see Blair Witch and shit. And then as we got older, I think by the time I was out of high school, I was
Did he go to the same high school as you, or
no? He went to Downey. I went to San Gabriel. So 18, 19, he ended up his family has a really, really high-end auto shop, tire shop in Bell. And then he ended up moving by himself to a beachside apartment in Huntington Beach. And then he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, if you just want to rent a room here, just call it $300 a month and we'll just be around." I didn't even have that. So I was like, I wish, but I can't. I have $0. Because I was still working at fucking Team Verizon and just not making any sales. So I'm like, I don't think I could even afford that. And he was like, all right. And then we just we grew up and lost touch and didn't see each other for a long time. And then 4 or 5 years later, I didn't even have this guy's number anymore. He was just the nicest guy in my life. And then when I was on So You Think You Can Dance, the very first live show it was on stage, I was looking in the audience and I just see him go,
What?
yeah, and I was no fucking way, dude.
You went there just for you.
Yeah. He fucking found out that I was doing all that shit, and it was 4 or 5 years later.
Why did you string him along for so long?
Why didn't I let him hit?
Yeah.
He
deserves it.
That's an ultimate big brother homie.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and he never.
He didn't even try to groom you.
No, he never.
He had all the opportunity.
Me for nothing, this dude.
That's so cool.
His family still lives across the street from my mom and dad.
No way.
why don't you ever go over try to get his number from them or something?
Oh, I do. I mean, I see him sometimes now, when I visit my mom and dad, and he's visiting his mom and dad.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll see each other and shit. But like,
Did you guys actually hang out too, or has it just been like random?
all the time I spent.
I see. So you guys were actually friends.
Yeah, we were
but,
actually
like,
friends. Yeah. We had a crew like of like Downey kids in the neighborhood, and we called ourselves Ultimate Game Gods. Because we used to play different video games with each other, and then we made code names for each other, and then like he goes, I think I'll be Ultimate Game God, and I'm like, that's the name of the group.
He's like, but I want to be the one.
He's like, well, I am the main guy. I was like, damn, yeah, I'll never forget that guy. He did the nicest things for me. Never one time asked me for nothing, dude. And this guy had such a nice Celica. They used it in Fast and Furious.
Dang.
Yeah, he had a red Celica that was fixed up so nice from his family shop. He had an N64 built into the dash where you could only see the game slot. And then the controller ports were like you couldn't see the system.
Yeah, it's so clean.
Yeah, so clean.
What the?
Yeah, it was called the Red Dragon.
Why is he so nice like that? You ever ask him?
I don't know, man, but this fool like scored points for Mexicans for the rest of my life.
What a cool guy.
When you try and groom me, man, just ask him straight up. Straight up, be honest.
He was just a nice dude.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, just a righteous guy. Yeah, and his brother had an NSX. They were like the coolest people.
Wow.
Sick.
They were ricers, but Mexican.
Yeah, but Mexican rice, yeah. Yeah, great dude.
The first super nice thing that came to mind, I think sometimes the nice things that jump out are when it's like unexpected. So you know the first Vegas house we lived at, it was next to like a former basketball player.
Yeah.
So I always just think like, oh, you know, when you're like famous and celebrity or whatever, you kind of have like this built-in stereotype. Not that I'm like, what's it called, like judging him, but you just kind of have like this expectation.
Uh-huh.
And then I would come out here, you know, to film JK News, and our trash days were like Thursday or Friday. And then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm leaving it out there. And then I'm like, fuck, the wind's probably gonna blow, because sometimes like Vegas gets pretty windy. And then my like ring cam or whatever thing would go off, and I see this fucking like 6'6" motherfucker like pulling my trash into my house, to my backyard.
He was a slam dunk
And I'm
champion,
like,
too.
what the fuck? I'm like, since when do fucking like celebrities have manners like that? And I didn't even go over to really like introduce myself just yet. Like he's just like you never think that people that have like lived that life at the end of the day are just a regular person. But he was just still just.
You wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, I would have just looked at the window like, yup, they missed it.
What a bunch of pieces of shit.
And he just was a regular neighbor, you know? Like he was just like a regular ass neighbor that cared about the street too. I'm like, dude, that is fucking cool.
What a cool neighbor to have.
Yeah.
And it took you like almost 40 years to experience something nice like that?
No, that was just the first thing that really popped in my
He
mind.
brought my trash cans in. That was really nice.
That is fucking nice.
That was really nice.
But that's cause like, I feel like when you're in LA,
Nobody does that shit for you.
Yeah, maybe you're used to
can
that.
be nice?
You're used
That's
to
what
that
you're
life.
used
Yeah.
Yeah, you're used to minding your own business and shit.
but when someone comes into your driveway and pulls your trash can, you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Stop digging in my trash!
It's like, oh shit. Julia Roberts is mowing my lawn? That's really fucking crazy.
She's like, your lawn's looking a little overgrown.
You're like, that is crazy. What the hell?
Julia Roberts.
Because that's what it feels like. It's not a normal neighbor. Like, if my normal neighbor, I'm oh, cool, what a cool neighbor, you know?
The Indian guy.
The Indian guy?
No, that's also equally weird. That Indian guy's doing it?
He sends me an invoice after.
Thanks for your business.
Trash days are Tuesdays.
That is $31.
Freaking NBA guy? That's dope.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah,
dude.
that's super fun.
What did he play for again?
I played for 2 teams, but the main one he's known for is Golden State Warriors.
He's a big deal, dude. He's a
Yeah.
big deal.
Damn.
I think he won like the most dunk contest after Jordan.
Dang!
He was like a big name.
Big
in the-
dunker,
in the dunk
big
contest.
dunker.
He moves Bart's trash can, takes a few steps back, goes he just trash goes everywhere.
I remember my church was getting ready to like ask all the members when we had like a
like a whole building a church out in Thailand thing going on, and then they needed to crowdfund money and they needed to get people together, and then like me and my friends were like, you know what, like we want to go, but obviously like we ain't got the cash, and then my parents were like, oh well, you don't go then because it's embarrassing, like we can't pay for it. And then this guy stepped up and he goes, hey, I think that would be a really good experience for, it was me and my two friends, me, Eddie, and David.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be a good experience for all three of you guys, and I'll just pay for them.
He paid for all of them?
And it actually caused drama in the church because, like, there was some Karens and shit that was like, nah, you shouldn't be paying for their vacation. And then the pastors were like, well, no, like, they're going out and serving God, like
That's a
they're
mission.
building a church.
Vacation?
Yeah, and then other people were like,
They're just
well, if their
jealous or
family
what?
can't afford it, like why are they even like accepting this thing? And then he's like, no, I want to pay because I think this will be a good experience for these kids. And then so it was all this fucking drama that came out, and then I was like,
People are petty.
Yeah, dude.
this
Church
dude
folk,
paid for the three of
I'll
us
tell you what.
and all of our plane tickets.
Damn, bro.
And it was like
What the heck?
multiple plane rides. Like it's not, there were no direct flights. You had to
Yeah.
go to like Japan and then here and then like, yeah. And then other church members were like, well, fuck that. And then it kind of like,
What?
other people were like, well, we're gonna join in too and we're gonna sponsor these kids. And then like, and then they're just throwing money, and it just created like all this shit. Like, and I was like, how can this create so much drama when it's just, yeah. But I just thought it was crazy. Like he barely
reason that's
knew
what-
us, and then he was just like, "Hey, I think this would be a really good experience for you. Like, I never had a chance to do this,
Wow,
so I'll pay
yeah.
for all."
Like,
three
he
of
don't get
them."
nothing out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was it.
What happened to that guy?
Don't remember.
Dang.
I was thankful though, and I remember like buying some gifts and stuff from Thailand, and then I wanted to like give it to him when I got there. But yeah, it was someone's dad, but by dad I mean like it's someone's grandfather. Like I think he was like in his 70s or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a cool dude.
Yeah.
My story is kind of similar-ish to that, actually. Whenever I wanted to move out to California, couldn't afford it at all because very expensive to move out here. And I was like, it's probably no chance it's gonna happen. Actually, it was just kind of a pipe dream. So I had just started streaming on Twitch. I was like maybe 2 years in, and I had gotten like some donations. Like I was kind of used to receiving donations. And then somebody asked me about my California plans, and I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen. And then within the next 2 days, that one person donated over $12,000.
Holy
Oh
shit.
my god.
And then just disappeared. They said enjoy your life in California, and then just disappeared.
What the?
You don't even know who this one was.
I know their
It was just-
username,
that's it.
What was their username?
Gray Lane.
But they never showed up ever again on your stream.
Wow.
They showed up one time like 3 years later to say hi, and I was like so excited. Then never saw them again.
Yo, that's crazy.
And they didn't
And
even
I'm like,
want to
and I'm like
blowjob.
here because of that person, and I don't even know like,
That's incredible.
yeah.
See, they didn't even want a blowjob, dude.
Didn't ask for anything.
That's the best. And that old guy, that he could have had 3 young boys, me and my friends.
He could have taken advantage. He could have taken advantage.
He didn't even want a blowjob.
That's a
dude.
good guy, bro.
That's
That's a
the
good
that's the.
But did you ask?
I probably should have, huh?
Do you want a blowjob, sir?
Damn, dude, that's crazy. You don't even know who this person is. If you had,
These are the types of things that make me believe in like God's plan for us. Is because like I feel like
maybe that was God's account.
I like just in the fact that like if something is meant for you, God will put it in the spirit of somebody to make it happen.
Yeah. For all we know, he could have Bitcoin heisted somebody, and he has all this money. He goes, you know what? I'm gonna fucking Robin Hood this thing and go on Twitch and just start throwing money.
That'd be an amazing thing to do.
What kind of person? If you had to guess, like, what kind of person do you picture that person being, like in life? Could they be like an older person?
Most of the people who donate a lot of money to me are like in their late 20s and usually have like a stable like job at some sort of like retail store. Like they'll be like store managers or stuff like that.
Really?
Like
You think some of
it's
them were
like
sheiks
kind
or
of,
something?
huh?
You think some of them were like sheiks or something?
or work at Chic.
Sell a lot of shoes and shit.
You think it's like people trying to live vicariously through you? Maybe they're like, I have my stable life. Maybe I wanted to pursue something big, but I never got a chance. So I do have all this money saved up. Here, you go live your life, and then I'll get my satisfaction through you.
Maybe a little bit like that. I would say my YouTube channel for the course of its history has had a lot of like world building and personality building that has involved my audience, and they've kind of gotten to be there along for that journey.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I include like all my passions of like niche video games in there that most people can't find friends in real life to play those games with. People find me as that person to play those games with. And then on top of that, I bring like all this extra like oomph, and then people are like, damn, there's nobody else out there like this. I like this guy type situation. And then I think people just want me to continue my
$12,000.
Just have it. Go to California.
So cool, man. Wonder who that is.
I've had a few people now. Like the crazy thing about that was like it was all in a very short time period. But there's been a few other people
And it's not someone that's
who have donated probably more than that just over the course of years.
Wow.
That's pretty wild.
Which very blessed for all those people. Thank you to anybody who is supporting my ventures, my craziness.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm out here because of you, so thank you.
Yeah, for that to be like a pivotal thing in your life is like really sick. It's not like you're just getting money and chilling in one spot, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're actually using it to.
I have like a very like deep feeling that like I have like kind of a life purpose, and I can't deviate from that because there's too many people that have helped make that happen. And if I decided to give up on my dreams or whatever, then I would be letting all those people down who have invested into me. So I'm pretty much, like you said earlier, like I'm here. I'm like I'm in this. Like you know what? You can't really back out when you're.
Some fucking guy comes to your door. Give me my $12,000 back, you shithead! You fucking gave up.
You didn't fucking go.
That's my dream too.
Yeah, I know. Who knows exactly like their intentions? I like to believe that they had good intentions.
I mean, yeah, if they just dropped it and like kind of went along with their life, that's pretty sick. They weren't like asking you every day after, like, what'd you do? What'd you do? How's it going? Like,
You owe me a favor. You owe me a favor. You want to go on a date?
what kind of guy? That's nice.
It's funny, there's lots of people who have that have donated lots of money to me over Twitch. I will like, if I'm in their city or their state or whatever, like I will go out and grab like dinner with them.
That's sick.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's tight.
Because I mean,
cool,
they're
man.
my Twitch chat for hours and hours and hours. Like I'm already like acquaintances with them.
Yeah.
And I already know they're
That's cool,
chill.
man.
And
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna kill me or anything. I'm not afraid.
Don't
You're good so far.
Don't hurt him.
That's good.
Well, you know, like our parents teach us don't talk to internet strangers. They're just gonna f***ing kill you or whatever. And then
Well, the internet,
some
Dad.
could.
and those internet strangers actually end up doing like
I am the one who knocks. It's from Breaking Bad. Because he goes like, you think someone's gonna knock on the door and kill me? I am the one who knocks. Yeah.
Well, it
like-
depends
and
on what kind of content you create and who you attract. Yeah.
that's true.
Because if it's like people that just want to play games with you, that's a whole different world from like politics influencing or like they got people trying to murder them, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, like I wouldn't meet someone in like an OnlyFans chat. You know, probably wouldn't be a good idea.
My biggest donor.
Unless you're like a prostitute OnlyFanser.
Then you have to.
That's part of the
of the
job.
game.
What's do you have anybody that did anything really nice for you?
I think just smaller deeds, mainly through travels. It really taught me how just cool it is out there in the world and how nice strangers could be. Because I was always caught in, I had backpacked a couple times with some girlfriends, and so we didn't always have the most money, and we were always just kind of making our plans up as we went.
Yeah.
And there were so many strangers that were just willing to help us out without ever asking for anything in return, never seeing us again. There's one time we were in London, and we always went to this bar, and we'd always only buy one drink because that's all we could afford.
Make it last, ladies. Sips, small sips.
They shared one drink between.
That's too much. That's too much.
Can we get a Long Island no ice?
Me and my friend did share one drink. And he would be like, only one. And then he would give us more, and he was so nice. And
that's cool.
They do like a Sunday roast thing over there. And he was like, oh, do you guys know anything about Sunday roast? Every Sunday they get together with their families, and they roast a chicken. And
Which country
that's
is
like it's in London.
Oh.
Okay. And And he was like, well, you guys I can go grocery shopping and you guys can come over tomorrow it was a Sunday. And he was like, I'll make you guys a roast.
This is the bartender?
This was the bartender. And we were like, is it creepy? Well, I don't know, but we're hungry. So we went.
How did he say it? How did he sound?
Or something.
He's like, do you guys want to come over? I'll make you a
Are we gonna get killed? No, I don't know. But I'm so hungry.
I will go grocery shopping for you.
On Sundays, we have roast.
He was really cool.
So you would like to come?
No.
People's aura, if they were usually.
Yeah, he had a
provide
good aura.
the chicken.
And then we were kind of shitty because we went to his place and he was still he was cooking and we were so tired we ended up taking a nap while he was cooking.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we woke up for dinner and then we never saw him again. It was so nice.
Wow. And he didn't try to like do anything
he was
weird?
Not weird. He was just a genuinely nice person trying to include us in his culture.
Maybe he just wanted someone to have Sunday roast with. He was like, I haven't had Sunday roast
Was
in a
there
minute.
other people at his roast?
No, it was just me and my friend.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
That makes me so nervous as you're telling the story. I was like, as you're telling the story. I was like, I think I've seen this on the news before.
Some of the
No.
coolest people that I'm still friends with today traveling though.
Yes.
Because you just go through adventures together and you're just like, man, this is...
Strangers are so
Before
nice.
I put the chicken in the oven, can you lock the door?
That is not how it works.
The roast is you.
My oven doesn't seem to be working. Could you go inside of it and check it out?
And now for the evening's twist.
Don't mind me, I'm just closing the blinds.
I mean, he was not an old creepy man.
Yes. Sleep, Melissa. Sleep.
Tired, are you?
It's no coincidence you're a little sleepy.
But then you walk away going, what a nice man. That's even cooler that you met someone non-threatening and generous being 3 girls.
For real.
How the heck?
There was another time we were stuck on an island. We missed the ferry in Croatia. We missed the ferry on this little island called
Croatia?
Hvar. And you have nowhere else to go, and there really isn't a lot of accommodation.
Jump on my back, I'll swim there.
He's still there?
Missed the ferry, did you? Oh, someone missed the ferry.
He just never goes away.
He just goes with us everywhere.
So what happened when you missed it?
So we were fucking cold, and we had nowhere to go. We had no service. There was nowhere, and these 3 guys walked by. Freaking guys again.
Of course.
And we were so there was a little doorway hole, and so we just kind of scooted in between there
Doorway hole. Oh, I see. Yeah.
to block the
To
wind
block the
as
breeze.
much as possible.
Yeah.
And they're walking by, and they're like,
Real
"Do
good.
you guys need help?" And we're like, "Yes." We have nowhere to go, and so they invited us back, but they weren't weird.
Would you like a sweater?
Would you like to get warm in my room?
I have blankets for you.
They weren't even crying. I think they were Australian. They were travelers too.
Nice.
But we ended up staying on their couch. They were all upstairs and far away from us. They brought us water. They never bothered us, and
Wow.
then we just left. They just let us stay.
That's really cool.
So what did you do? You have to catch the next ferry the next day?
The next morning. Yeah.
The next morning, and
Yeah, the next
they
morning.
just let you be? That is
Yeah.
fucking cool.
And we all slept on the same couch like this because we didn't want to separate because, it was a little sketchy, but we were cold, so we had to go.
Wow.
Yeah. But they were really nice. There's so many nice people out there that are just willing to help strangers. So I'll never forget those people.
That's awesome.
But also, we grew up in LA. I feel like most of the world isn't trying to grape you all day. But in LA, you're just
All day.
Every day.
It's different.
If they're not trying to touch you, they're trying to steal from you. If they're not trying to steal from you, they're trying to sell you something.
Yeah, I probably would do that here.
No.
But over there.
But it's still amazing that it's 3 girls. For us, we probably won't, we'll be okay, but... dang.
Well, I think people are more willing to save a girl and then let her sleep on the couch. A guy would be like, "You cold? Too bad."
Sorry, bro.
Yeah. Damn, that's so cool. And you kept in touch with any of them? That you didn't get any contact info or nothing?
No idea. Couldn't tell you who they were.
That is true backpacking.
Yeah, for real.
Just bye.
That's just the culture, I guess. Huh?
Thanks for the bed, sucker. Off to me, fairy. I thought we could be friends.
That is so nice, though.
I know. We encountered that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You barely escaped my clutches this time, Melissa.
So close.
So close.
I'll get you next time.
You always come back around.
See you in Spain.
You never experienced a Sunday roast, huh?
Bro, that accent is so silly, bro.
So you've Brexited me life. Okay.
Brexit.
The fucking character.